It's the Fots.
You heard.
We back at it, man.
You know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna have to kill the kind of like the corporate.
Yeah, we might have to kill that, but we back at it though.
We back at it because remember when God said we couldn't say the word back at all?
Yeah, like we're coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yo,
We're back, but back.
Yeah.
Back.
And every time I'm next to Don, you know what that means? Pause. There's a special guest.
Yeah, another special guest. We have a lot of special guests, man.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. It's an empty seat.
It's an empty seat.
Let's see. How tall you think they are based on the mic positioning? Pause.
I don't even want to know how his mic position say, yo. But I don't know. Probably like 6 foot.
Yeah, it's the Fots.
It's the Fots.
Yo,
but yeah.
Oh, I hear somebody.
Oh, look who it is.
That's who it
Look
is.
who it is.
All he asks is trust. Perfect.
Yo, look at this. What up, my boy? How you doing, man? Long time don't see. Yo, man.
Dressed in black.
Oh, I'm saying?
You don't even understand what's about to happen right now.
Yeah. Yo, he got us too.
Yeah, I said when he's in the
Yeah,
room,
it's gonna
be crazy.
gonna
I can't talk. Okay, all right.
But yeah, man. Yo.
So
look how our special guest is, man.
Yeah, this is John Rios.
Yeah, for you guys out there, y'all know him as Roadhouse. Anytime we say Roadhouse, that's him.
That's him. And we'll tell the story on how he got that name, which is funny. But welcome.
Bro.
Thank you for having me, guys. This is awesome.
Of course. Look at him like a real fucking guest. Hey, this is awesome. I can't wait. I hope the real Roadhouse comes out.
Yeah, in a minute, though. He's warming up because it's back cold. So anyway.
Word.
But yo, man, I mean, this is actually more monumental.
Yes.
Because, you know, we're able to kind of like, you know, show a face to the name that we always say on camera. So when people are like, who's John? Who's Roadhouse? Because I actually have people that ask, who are these people? Like my cousins and stuff that kind of know who everybody else already. They're like, well, who's John? I'm like, damn, you be listening, man. I'd be proud.
That's not the John that fucks up the audio.
That's not. That's no audio.
John. Let's be very clear about that. I'm not that guy.
So we want to know, like, yo, man, tell the people who you are, brother.
I mean, I'm John Rios. That's I mean, what I do?
Yeah, what you do. Like
what you do, then we're gonna tell you what you doing.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'm a real estate broker. I run a team in New York and Connecticut. And I'm also a business consultant and business coach. I have a business consulting company.
Amazing.
And he handles structure.
Yeah, structure.
Right? So just so that everybody knows now, right?
What's up?
Are we gonna do the drum roll?
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. Yeah, we should.
All right. So basically, just so you know, like the tension, right? The crazy business climax.
No, not at all.
But John now, through structure for the company.
Yeah, for sure.
Don and I are now co-CEOs.
Co-CEOs, you heard?
He is now our COO who's come in and help with the operations and the structure of our business. And we've spoken about it a lot as far as the structure that was needed.
For sure.
And he is the one that is providing that.
Yeah.
So
let's welcome John as the the COO of this group, man. Let's go. Yeah, man. Yeah. We bringing that structure.
More fight. I'm sorry.
Yo, he's Jamaican. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all know that. He's Jamaican and I'm the Puerto Rican. You heard?
Word. But now seriously, bro, like definitely want you to talk about your business acumen.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, about the coaching, but also speak about as far as on the real estate side. You know what I mean? As far as who you are, because you're a fan of the show, so you know you have pitch clocks. So
Yeah.
Shout out Team Synergy all day. You know what I mean? But you know, kind of how you got here. You know, a little bit of a story. You know.
So I mean, I was in healthcare. I was in healthcare for 17 years. I did everything in healthcare I started as a housekeeper, working in the OR, picking up blood and shit and organs and all types of nasty shit.
Interesting.
But I held a lot of different positions within like 9 different hospitals in New York.
Wow.
and I did everything from the lowest level, which is housekeeping, all the way up to my final position. I was the director of Columbia Presbyterian's orthopedic department.
Fire.
And that's what I thought I was gonna do forever, because my whole family is in healthcare. And
so you kind of grew up in that, like not in that, but it's like it's what you
around
saw.
it. Yeah.
Keep it real, man. The bar was set very low for me.
Okay.
My parents, anyway. Y'all did me dirty. but yo, it's the truth.
In what way though? Mindset way, or just things that they did?
Well,
like for what they showed you.
I mean, I was wilding out since I was very young.
Okay.
So my mom was always
You
just
rebellious?
like, yeah, my mom was always just like, don't go to jail, get a city job.
Okay.
We're happy.
Oh wow.
We go with that. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that was tough. That was tough because they got me into the hospital before I even graduated high school, which at that time you needed a diploma.
Yep.
But we had so many ties in healthcare and in the hospital. They were like, get him in ASAP.
You like the hospital mafia.
The mob ties.
Yeah. And they, you know what I mean? They wanted me to have, and I understand it. You know what I mean? They wanted me to have structure. They wanted me to have stability.
Yeah.
They wanted me to have a pension and all that good stuff. So I get it. But, you know, at that time, I didn't see it that way.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, it was like, this is dope. I'm making good money at a young age, but you know, I wanted to wild out. I wanted to.
So at that young of age, because I'm pretty sure you was making as much as some grown-ups at that time, because you're working you said as a housekeeper, right?
Yeah.
So what did that do for you outside of work? Like, were you dibbling, dabbling, and getting like, yo, I'm making X, Y, and Z dollars. Am I doing something else?
You want me to tell you the truth?
Yes.
If you can.
I mean, I can. I just don't know. I mean, you know, this is that type of pod.
Yeah, no, this is business.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at that time, the people that I was with, my close friends, people I was in the street with, they went into other things.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it was like, that was like my first kind of like brush up with being a silent investor, so to speak.
Executive producer of the streets.
You know what I'm saying? It was like
executive producer too.
Streets,
you know, and what made it worse was that I worked at Montefiore Hospital on Gun Hill and Bainbridge.
Oh, okay.
And my block was right across the street on Gun Hill and Jerome.
Wow.
So literally, like, I come outside for my lunch break. I'm
there.
I'm on the block. You know what I'm saying? So for
time
me,
and a half, you heard?
literally double time.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So question, with that kind of mindset, how did you where did your transition happen from there? How did that happen, the transition?
The transition from being in the street?
Yeah, and just like from working, being in the street, and then transitioning into being this like entrepreneur and real estate, all that stuff. How did that take us to that? How did that happen? Was it like an aha moment? Like, I don't want to work anymore. I'm just gonna be full time in the streets. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna become
Nah.
Okay.
It was never a full time in the street thing. I always knew. I mean, I was always smarter than everybody else in the street, and I knew that my job was my bread and butter. I knew that, you know, that was consistent money. You know, there was losses in the street, obviously, but I think that, and I just want to be clear, like, you know, this is not some like, you know, like everything that happened in my life, I chose.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't nobody that like came from a broken home and like my mom was smoking crack. Like, I came from a great family. I wanted to be in the street because that's what everybody else was doing. That shit was cool.
Sound like what Mike said.
Yeah.
All his stuff was self-inflicted.
That shit was cool to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they getting it. I mean, mean, I want the big Lexus, you know. So
Buggy
the
eye.
buggy
yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
The
So
gold BBSs, you heard?
so it was never you know, I think that imposter syndrome starts like very young.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, it was like, I'm a baseball player, because that was my thing. I played baseball all the way up to high school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a baseball player. What does that look like? How does that guy act? How does that guy move?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then I'm a working guy, because at that time when I was working in the hospital, my base salary was probably like 45 grand.
Oh, like 17?
At 17.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. He's
It
making
was
like
like 45.
And at that time.
Yeah, it was like
Yes.
45 grand as a base salary. Then on top of that, I used to do wow overtime, because the old heads that I work
They
with,
didn't want to do it.
they wasn't built like me. My energy was up here. So I was like, double shift, no problem. I'm on it, you know? So I was probably making like 70, 80 grand at that time. So how you going to tell me about going to school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm in the street
And you in the
bugging,
Yeah.
go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at that time, you know, I was in and out of high schools. I went to 5 different high schools. I was wilding.
So was that so being that the imposter syndrome was going, like you're trying to figure out who you are, going to different high schools, was it because you was getting fights, or you were like, you know, you didn't show up, or you just was like, you know, I didn't want to just be here, and you just did. You know, I know how schools end up pulling you if you're not doing certain things. Is that so?
Nah, so I fought a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot to do with my size and my attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I was super small.
Mhm.
Pause. Ayo. I was super small. And you know, where I grew up, it was like you had to fight for
Wild West,
everything.
for
You know what I
sure.
mean? And that was like gang era. You know, you went outside with the wrong color. It was you was getting ready to fight. My mother did me dirty. Matter of fact, I'm just
Damn again?
yeah. She bought me this bright red and black coat. This was like when they was cutting your face open for anything you wore red. I'm like, Mom, it's bad enough. I'm 5'1". You got me out here wearing this. But nah, she put me in Catholic high school.
Which one?
Mount St. Michael.
Oh, my stepfather got kicked out of there.
Yeah, I got kicked out of. I got kicked out of Immaculate Conception.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we in the club.
Yeah, we in the club.
So that was where it started, and you know, I went to high school there. Thought I was gonna be an athlete, and
When did that stop?
the athlete stuff.
Yeah.
It was on and off. I mean, like Mount St. Michael, I went in there to play baseball. I played there. Once I got kicked out of there, that was when the real like street shit turned up.
I can
Because
imagine.
from there I went to Evander.
Evander's right next to the school I got kicked out.
I went to Evander. From Evander I went to Walton. From Walton I went to Clinton. And if it wasn't for like a tragic, I had a really bad situation in Clinton. They damn near killed me.
Wow.
They beat the shit out of me so badly. And that's when my parents was like, we got to get up out of here.
Yep.
And they moved to Yonkers. And my next high school was Yonkers High. And that was an insane culture shock, because I went from like gang wars in my hallway to Yonkers High was like Saved by the Bell.
Jeez, that's
it was
crazy.
it was crazy, and I stood out like a sore thumb. Like, you know, I came in there smelling like weed, my eyes all red. I'm leaned up against the lockers. I'm not talking to nobody. Everybody's like, "What the fuck is this guy?" You know what I'm saying? So
is that where from high school, is that when the mentality switched, as far as being that your parents, you know, they said they had to move? Did that affect you? He's like, man, whatever, or at that young age you didn't even care?
Nah, I didn't care, because I was still going back to the hood.
Nah.
I was getting out of school, taking the bus back to the block.
Yep.
And I was still working over there.
Yep.
So to answer your question, I picked back up when I went to Yonkers High, because it's like, oh, there's no gang drug shit going on here. I guess I'll play baseball
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So I started playing baseball again over there. And, it was a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? That I started working so early.
Yeah.
Because,
I can imagine.
Everything else aside, I was already exposed to, like, adult shit.
Yeah.
Real adults.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was working with people that were on the brink of retirement.
Yep.
I was working on people that were telling me, like, make sure you set up the 401k, because if you do overtime, so I was getting this game, like, super early that I didn't really appreciate until later on.
For sure.
But I didn't graduate, and they had wanted me to come back for another year. I had already did 5 years of high school.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And they wanted me to come back for another year. I was like, you bugging.
Yeah. You go to night school?
Nah.
Oh.
So my mom, she was devastated because I wasn't graduating. And I was like, I got a good job. I did the high school thing. It didn't work out. I'm out of here. And what saved it was that because I was supposed to have a diploma at my job and they gave me the job prior, they came back around. HR came back around and later on, and it was like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
So in order for me to keep the job, I had to go get my GED.
Yep.
Oh, and you got it.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, I was always smart.
Yeah.
Whether I went to class or not, I was smart. So it was like a walk-in. I took it. I passed. I was like, Mom, here you go.
Yeah.
And, puppy.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
The coddling.
I did it,
The coddling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So being that you're around all those like grown people at a young age, right? You're learning about 401k, you're learning about people savings and all this stuff. Is that when like you started catching some type of business game or starting to do some more information about what this stuff is? Or it was more like, I don't care about that. I'm still dabbling in the streets. So I'm actually putting both pieces together.
Nah, I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said that. I didn't really start to look back at what my experiences taught me until I became an entrepreneur.
Wow.
So
what age was that? My bad. Go ahead.
This dude here, I feel like you're trying to get with him or something like that.
I'm saying. I'm asking the questions. I'm asking questions. My bad. He's the COO of the company.
Go ahead.
What you said?
Anyway, he's the one sitting next to you, so it's all good. But anyway, so I was like, around what age? Go ahead, ask the question.
What age did I become an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Oh, late. I didn't start my business till like 10 years ago. Till like 10 years ago.
Was real estate the first?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
But the thing was, so damn. Keep it real, it was my son. It was my son that really made me change my life.
Amazing.
Because I was a dirtbag and I was still running the streets and living this like double life that my wife didn't know about.
Wow.
Oh, so you was doing and
oh yeah, that was
really.
That's all I knew, bro.
Yeah.
So my wife, when she found out what was like really up with me and how I was moving, she was like, you can't be around Cam if this is how you moving.
Wow.
And
around what age was that though?
What age was he?
What age was I? Around that time.
I was around.
Because that could tell you a different mindset of what you're thinking when.
I was in my like late 20s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he meant so much to me that I was like, can I really afford to lose my son over what I'm doing? So that was like a definitely a change. That was the pivot into, and not even the pivot into entrepreneurship. It was just a pivot into, I'm gonna live a clean life. I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna work a 9 to 5 and live paycheck to paycheck, so to speak.
Now, let me ask you a question. If that would have happened earlier in your life, would you have still made that same decision, do you think?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. Earlier in my life, money at a young age can really fuck you up if you don't have guidance.
For sure.
And I didn't have guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, you know, I was just living like a constant, like,
He was a cowboy out
like
here.
a Project X, like every day. That was, you know what I mean? Like, I went to work and I was one
cowboy.
dude, and the minute I clocked out, boop,
He was on.
I hit the other switch. And
Wow.
and then going back to that, like, who I am today, I can say that guy wasn't even me.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, we got to get a new COO.
Yo, hey, it's HR. We need to do a background check.
Nah.
Yo, did you get your GD or you get the mafia? You know?
Nah, that guy wasn't me either.
Yeah.
That was something like to fit in.
Yeah.
You know? And I made a lot of poor decisions and got myself involved in things that I don't want to say I regret, but
you learn from?
But I definitely learned from. And I think that that's key, man, because when you asked me in the beginning of the pod, like, who are you?
Yeah.
Or I think people always want to identify themselves as what they do.
I got you.
They are.
No, but that's why, like, because I know you're that type of individual.
Yeah,
and I think people need to understand that.
Because I'm not, I sell houses, I run a team, I do business, but that's not who I am.
Yeah, I remember when I first asked you, like, what you do, and you was like, yeah, you didn't even say you was a real estate broker. You just like, I sell some houses. I'm like, all right. And then we started talking, and he's like, yeah, I was like, nah, I was the award-winning realtor for 1 year. I'm like, so wait, you're a realtor, but the way you even presented it wasn't even like that. It was more of like, this is what I do, and who I am, though, is different compared to what that, have that label on me, you being a realtor.
Yeah, because if you define yourself that way, then what happens when you don't have it?
Yeah.
And I went through that.
Yep.
I went through that. I mean, so it was like, nah, this is, trying to find who I really am. And that's the journey I've been on for like the past 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
Just really figuring out who I am at my core.
What? Go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good.
No. I just, in speaking to you and hearing this part, right? Do you think that now, as far as the coaching is important to you and the structure is important to you because you didn't have that before, and that's why kind of like, hey, I didn't have this, and that's why I want to do this for other people?
Oh, 100%. So real estate is by far the greatest entrepreneurial space for you to learn business as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a realtor, you have to learn sales, you have to learn marketing, you have to learn structure, period, how to structure your business properly. You have to learn finances, you have to learn marketing, you have to learn so many different things. And when I got into real estate, I got into an office that was, I don't want to say they were racist. I want to give them a fair shot. There wasn't many people that looked like me there.
Got you.
Yonkers High.
Yeah. Yeah. There wasn't many people that looked like me there. So trying to get help was very difficult. Like trying to like say, hey, how do I do this? Nobody was trying to give me that game. And it's funny because that first year, I won Rookie of the Year in my office. I had sold like $7 million in sales volume, and everyone was cheering and like, oh, great.
Yeah.
But for me, it didn't mean shit because I still didn't make what I made in my previous job.
Got you.
And we were struggling.
Yeah.
So it didn't mean shit to me. And then the tables turned. Now all the people that didn't want to talk to me or help me, they taking me out to lunch. They want to tell me about an opportunity.
Of course.
Shit changed. And very early, I peeped game. I realized that, how cutthroat the industry was.
It's all smoke and mirrors and stuff too.
Oh, super! It's the biggest vanity matrix you ever see.
Wow.
Everything you see in real estate is fraud.
Yeah.
Or 90% of it.
Well,
90% of it.
So 90% of the real estate stuff is a fraud.
Yeah.
From a marketing standpoint, or even from acquisitions as well.
Let me clear that up.
Okay.
What I mean by that is like some of these shows, right?
Flips this, flip that.
Not just the flipping, like the shows, like the $1 million listings and the selling sunsets. Like they walking through the house and they like showing the client the house, and then fast forward 30 seconds, this guy just made $300,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, real estate markets, first of all, are hyper local.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening in Astoria, Queens is not the same as what's happening in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not even that far away.
Yep.
But the markets are so different in terms of trends. But on a national level, it's completely different. So New York, it could take on average 4 to 5 months for a deal to close, where California is a 30-day state.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah. So they could close a deal in 30 days.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, like, a lot of it,
it's fluff.
Yeah, the numbers don't tell the whole story.
Yeah.
Right? Because people will lead with certain numbers to make themselves look great. So, and I'll give you an example. Somebody could say, I sold $100 million worth of real estate this year, right? And they could be in a luxury market in LA where that was 10 sales.
Okay.
Right? 10 sales at 10 million each.
Yeah.
They sold 100 million. Somebody in Utah could say, I sold $100 million in sales. And that took them 400 houses to sell.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's an experience gap.
Yeah.
This guy did 400 deals to get 100 million. This guy did 10. On paper, they look the same.
Yeah.
You got to go deeper into those numbers.
Into like the volume, right?
So that's why I said, like, the numbers can be manipulated in real estate to make them look however you want to make them look.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just the same as far as even with social media.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we always talk about that perception is everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And perception is key. Like, and it's all.
But it's also, too, with the real estate stuff is people now you're starting to put a face to some of these real estate things, like some of these real estate, I guess, courses or whatever it is, and it's showcasing that everybody can do it. But me personally, yes, everybody can do it, but I don't think that everybody can do that. Real estate.
100%. And for me, like, going back to your question about is that what made me want to do it? I invested in coaching very early in my career. I had a coach from my second year in the business all the way until my last year.
Wow.
So, and ranging anywhere from like as high as $3,000 a month for coaching, because entrepreneurship, there is no master's degree. There's no university, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So you got to find somebody that did it the right way, did it well, that can teach you, but not to teach you how to do it the way they did it, but for you to adapt what you can. So I invested in a coach very early, and the reason why I wanted to start the consulting and coaching company was because I was already working in a previous coaching company. And from seeing what the entrepreneurs were lacking, it was like, damn, there's a big gap here, because a lot of people are visionaries.
For sure.
And a lot of people are talented, right? You could be a baker and you know how to make the best cakes possible. And people will tell you, yo, you should start a business selling them cakes.
For sure.
And you get hyped and you want to sell cakes. You don't have no idea how to start that business.
Yep.
And sometimes that's why it fails, because the journey from solopreneur to entrepreneur is scary, because you wearing all the hats in the beginning and all you want to do is bake cakes.
Yeah, I mean, but So from an entrepreneur standpoint, what made you take your leap? Like being that, from a solopreneur to an entrepreneur, what made you take your leap into entrepreneur, like, and having that like fearlessness?
Damn, I don't want to get emotional. I got really sick.
Mm-hmm.
I got really sick, and I never had a dream to do what I'm doing in business.
Mm-hmm.
My sickness forced that because whenever I would get sick, I would be on a ventilator and in the ICU for 7-10 days, sometimes longer than that at a time.
Wow.
And it was at the climax of my business.
Wow.
This was when I was on a trajectory like this.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I would come out of the hospital, when you're in a drug-induced coma, you wake up and your family's all like, "Oh yes, yeah!" And they're praying to the Santos, and they're going crazy.
Yeah.
But for you, it's like you're back physically, but mentally I wasn't back.
Wow.
And it would take me weeks to get back. I mean, I couldn't function. So as an entrepreneur, nobody cares.
Yeah.
They don't care
that you were sick.
You tell your clients the first time, yo, I'm sorry, I was unfortunately in ICU. They like, damn, that's so sorry. Damn, I'm so sorry that happened. Next time you tell them that, listen, we want you to get better, but we already found another broker because and I'm not mad at them. That's how it got. They buying a house. They can't wait for you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what triggered it for me. I was like, I need to build something so that
if something happens to me,
when I'm not here, this thing still runs.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like where that started.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of relate with that. I mean, from a sense of, the aspect of nobody cares, right? Aside from the people that are in your circle, right? Or the people, family or whatever. So it doesn't, something tragic happens, you can say it a few times, but then, people are only worrying about themselves. So you have to adapt to that.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I had a person, I had Myq to kind of like being able to kind of take the blunt of all that, because he was able to answer the questions that I couldn't at the time. So for you, did you have a team when as you going through, or you're at the head of the team, and they couldn't, nobody could do what John does? So you were losing clients, or it was just like,
I was bleeding money, I was bleeding business, but I had a group of people that came into real estate after me, that were close friends that I had already been mentoring. And I was just doing that, like just giving them game, like casually, like, yo, do this, do that. Yo, you have to go here. You know what I mean? And when I started to get sick, I didn't know shit about building a team, because that's even something you have to learn as well.
Yep.
So I did it out of desperation. So I just pulled the people that I had, and I was like, yo, listen, I'm going to give y'all my business. If I'm out, take it and run. We'll discuss splits on the back end, because the way I saw it was 50% was better than 0%. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get adjusted to that quickly. So as I was going through the process of dealing with my illness, it was like, okay, rather than spending all of my time looking for more business, I need to spend more time learning how to build this out so that this runs with or without me.
Yep.
Which is kind of what the philosophy is bringing here.
100%. That,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like, Exactly that.
And going back to what you asked me before about the jobs, that's when it started to click.
I got you.
Because if you ever worked in a corporate structure, that's the best place for you to take note of how your business should operate.
Yep.
I worked in healthcare.
Yep.
So as a housekeeper, if I'm not at work, they got another housekeeper.
Yeah.
Even to the surgeons. Somebody gets shot in the emergency room, they come in, they're not going to say, "Oh, we can't save you, bro. There's no surgeon. He called out."
Yeah.
Everything keeps running,
For sure.
you know? And that was the first thing in my head, like, how do I get that? How do I build that to
operate.
Get to the point where I can go to doctor's appointments? I was a part of a clinical trial that was trying to heal me in Denver. I was a part of another clinical trial in San Diego. I had to go away for that. How can I keep on generating revenue while I'm away trying to figure those things out?
Right.
So that was the motive behind it. I never had this big dream. It came by default.
Oh, but through your illness.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So coming out of that, right? When, like you're saying, coming out of that, it was that. I know you said your family, you come out and they're like, yeah, whatever. Like getting to the mental, like, because that has to take a lot of drive. You know what I'm saying? Like focus, like that's what you're doing personally from that is like nothing in comparison to even on the business side.
Yeah.
So that was clearly the first time that you've had to do something like that. And that's what you're saying is like, hey, I did this for me, right? Like as far as a human, and now it's like I want to put this into a business and then just go and make sure that I'm straight. Because did you worry about your family or anything like that? Because with something like with an illness like that, that's not a cold.
Yeah.
No. I was always worried about my family. I was always worried about them because I was like, I'm no longer in a corporate setting,
right,
where I have the backbone of disability, workers' comp.
Yep.
I didn't have that.
Yep.
So it was like, what am I gonna be able to do now? You know what I'm saying?
What was it here that you saw that you was like, okay, I know I could do this here. I know, the value I could bring.
Yeah, what kind of culture did you see on the outside here that you thought that, you know what, I could bring something to these guys?
Yeah.
Some value, I should say.
What I saw,
besides the gaping holes.
Nah. What I saw was two dudes that I cared about.
Oh man.
And that
man about to make me emotional.
That's real shit.
Word.
Because if I do coaching and consulting for strangers, then why wouldn't I do the same thing for people that I have relationships with? And outside of the personal relationship that I have with Myq, I had a relationship with you.
Word.
And you helped me out with my son, and that for me is always like, you always have a golden ticket in my life if you do something for my son.
Yeah.
So when I saw, without even really knowing the inner workings of what y'all were doing, I was like, these are my brothers, they need help. I'm gonna help, see how I can help.
Word. When
I got to actually look under the hood, I was like, oh, there's some shit here.
Yeah.
There's something here. And I felt like what I also saw was y'all didn't see how much value y'all had.
For sure. That's one thing you definitely, I could tell you, that's one thing that y'all definitely, he who cannot be named also said that as well. Yeah. But hearing it from you, it definitely struck a chord to us. Because that, Voldemort told us everything, within our company.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously with the infrastructure.
Yeah.
But with you let us know from an outside perspective as well. So hearing it also from an outside perspective kind of,
bro,
hits you a little bit harder.
Seriously, and this is going to be the ultimate pause.
Yeah.
You know how I do with the pauses, right?
Hey, yo.
But seriously, after the conversation, it was like, yo, I felt like my nuts was hanging. I'm gonna be honest, bro.
Facts.
Like that's how
Yeah,
you
no,
that
facts.
like that. It was like, yo, fuck that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and it's been a different energy, and
Word.
we've spoken about it. And you've been here, and not been here about how we speak about that. But it's like it's collectively, it's these things that it's like, yo, we are who we are, and stop fucking looking for other people for shit.
And to
You know
validate
what I'm
it.
saying? And like exactly like the validation, because he and I are very similar in how we are. You know what I'm saying? And we needed that, like what Don was saying. The other guy that
Voldemort.
speaks, he told us, and then it's like having somebody like you come in, and then it's like literally like, oh, hey, I want to, because that's how I look at you. I look at you as like, what is it, Russell Crowe? His Beautiful Mind.
Beautiful Mind,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And the whole thing, it's like, that's
Yeah.
how I view you, and hearing you about the pieces,
Yeah.
right? And we needed help with those pieces, you know? And like you said, it's
Yeah,
your
but
brother.
but mindset comes before anything in business. You can't do shit without that, and that was what I wanted to do with y'all first before anything, was get your minds right, because you know y'all were like looking over here and over there, and like looking for somebody to stamp it, or like, you know, tell y'all something that, you know, like y'all had it, y'all got it, and you don't need to go, you know, y'all had some other people on this pod that, I mean,
He is, what am I going to say? He's great.
He's great.
yeah.
But I
so-
mean, I think with that, but what you did was you
good
actually,
segue. Good segue.
Nah, you helped us. what ended up happening, you ended up helped us with knowing that we don't need to validate other people to validate us.
100%.
And I think that was one of the biggest things that we had that conversation. He was like, yo, bro, you paid homage enough.
Yeah.
It's now time to turn that inward.
Yeah.
And I think because we were paying homage, we thought that that's what we had to do, was pay the homage, so that for us, it wasn't more so to get their attention, but it was more like, I guess, our talking points, but we would be forgetting about the stuff that we're doing. So I remember when you was like, yo, bro, you guys have done that. Now it's time to turn it on to what you guys are doing and how this is going to change the game for the next several years. So you definitely put a highlight to that, and you know we definitely appreciate that for sure.
I was gonna say thank you for that, because I've noticed just a difference in, forget about the attitude, but just even things that have happened.
For sure.
You know what I mean? With the new way of, you know, it's amazing. You know,
It's also because y'all work with clients that have such huge followings already,
Yeah.
and brands within themselves. So now it's like building this brand, you know, and building this company. And I think that we just had to redirect, you know, the focus a little bit, but definitely so much here, so much value, so much stuff that we could do here.
Don, this is an appreciation. The appreciation pod.
No.
Because through all this, seriously, like we definitely appreciate, and it's like now you're us. You know what I mean? We said that, you know, I was on a pod the other day, and it was like, whether we make $1 million or 10 million, I kept it at $1 million.
Yeah.
That was the low end. Just so you know.
Yeah, I got that. We good.
You know, we good regardless. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and another thing too, I was also, somebody had asked me about they have partners, and they have, you know, title CEOs, COOs, and CFOs, and the CEO that this company, I'm not going to say the company, they were scared of the COO having a conversation, and then the president having a conversation to go and not to promote the business. So I told them, like, yo, the people that you have that are in power, that means they shouldn't be there. And when I said that, they kind of got offended because they thought they had to be in every conversation.
Yeah.
And they asked me why. And I was like, well, for me and ours, I don't care who it is. The people they're gonna get the information they need to get, and it's gonna come back to the table, and then they won't see the lay of the land. Like I'm confident on what we all bring to the table, and when we go out, what comes back. And that's what you have added to this. That Myq and I were like that. We didn't care who goes speak. We know that when it comes back, it comes back. And you, it's the same thing. I feel as if that it doesn't matter where we go, who we speak to, the information is going to be given. We're going to get it back, and then we're going to be able to execute whatever plan that we go forward.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Each individual person, when you go out and you represent the company.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like I tell Myq all the time, we go out to events for this group.
Mm-hmm.
I leave my real estate broker hat at home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here as this group.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm networking, I'm introducing myself as that.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps us multiply our efforts.
For sure.
So I don't think of it as like, oh, we all got to be together. I think if we all out in different spaces, we cover more ground. We get more exposure.
That's a fact. And that's why, me personally, that's why I like it, man.
Yeah, SOPs and workflow. Shout out Roadhouse. But no, so before we get into Goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The Roadhouse story, right? So listen, this is a story. When I first introduced John to Don, it was, calls, whatever. So we have a lot of group chats and this and that. So Don one time goes, "Oh yeah, so John, Roadhouse, what's it? Roadhouse?" I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Yo, Cam's that Roadhouse." I was like, "That's Rios, bro." He was like, "I don't know, Roadhouse." So, but the funny thing is because of how John is, right? Structured, serious.
Yo.
Now he has an alter ego, whereas when Roadhouse comes to have a meeting, that's serious. It's like seriousness. And John Rios does real estate. But Roadhouse is here.
Yeah. Nah, but I know it's probably young for some of these kids or whatever, these young adults.
Yeah.
There's a movie with Patrick Swayze, right?
This is where the demo just went.
I'm just saying.
Swear it went.
I'm just saying.
Swear it went.
And Patrick Swayze used to fuck niggas up.
Yeah.
In the Roadhouse.
He was in Casablanca. It was a black and white movie.
Nah,
if you saw it,
definitely wasn't Casablanca.
let's kick the algorithm backwards.
But nah, you said the name Patrick Swayze, you never know. You know what I'm saying? And I felt as if like John came in to like fuck shit up and then bring order.
See how he kept that? Did I throw it?
No.
He couldn't say a Spanish last name, and now it's like, oh, he gave it a fucking name.
But I told you that though, and that's all facts. That's why the shit that we didn't need, you fucking threw out the bar, and the shit we needed to run efficiently, you made sure that we had, and that's how I felt.
I mean, as many people as I work with, one of the biggest hurdles and obstacles for entrepreneurs and business owners is hiring.
See?
Because everybody wants to hire their family, their friends, their cousin, their brother. Mm-hmm. And what they start doing is they start trying to mold the person to the position. And you got to hire to the position. So if you don't have these requirements, you just don't make it. And the motto is slow to hire, quick to fire.
Yep.
And y'all had a bunch of people lagging around that
we didn't need.
Had to go.
Facts.
So it wasn't. I wasn't trying to fuck shit up.
When I say fuck shit up, I mean it messy. Well, fuck shit up like kicking niggas. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean?
They were lagging.
You know what I'm saying?
They was lagging. So that's the Roadhouse
story.
Yeah. He saved it by not being able to pronounce the Spanish last name. Now he wants to say,
"Yo, I'm not Jamaican. I'm sorry, man." Rios.
More
see,
fire.
I can say it.
More fire.
You know what I'm saying?
So, goalkeeper, John, you already know what that is. So I guess he has to go first, right?
Yes, he does, man.
So a weekly goal.
So weekly goal for this week is just trying to stay in gratitude all the time, man. Yeah. Trying to stay in gratitude all the time. There's so many ups and downs, ebbs and flows, and attitude of gratitude will always bring you back to center. I mean, we always tripping about what we didn't get, what we don't have, and you gotta look around and see what we do have. So just staying in that attitude of gratitude all week.
I like that. Yeah, that's fire.
You gonna take it?
Me? Yeah, I mean, yo, that gratitude word has been thrown around a lot, and definitely staying in that. I like that. I'm not trying to take his goal, but it's actually it's actually befitting, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think I'm gonna just stay in gratitude, given that, you know, my wife's birthday is the 29th, and it's her second time that, you know, she's not gonna be with us, and I'm have to start to understand. It's like starting to be super reality for me, and you know, you get into these state of minds that, like, damn, this shit is real.
Yeah.
So, and then your mind starts to go all types of different places. So I want to stay in like the positive memories, or let's say not positive, the good memories, and stay in that gratitude. So I'm able to also give my kids, because it's you know, they're gonna go through. I want to be able to have a stable mind, so when they go through it on her birthday, I'm able to give them the support they needed. So that's why the gratitude, I'm gonna definitely stay in that as well.
Dope. Yeah. I guess I got to switch it up, right?
Yep, have to.
So I'm probably gonna be in like an attitude of gratitude.
I love it. You're great.
No, I just want to make sure that all these things that we implemented for 2024, that we are, like you say, staying low and firing.
Yeah, stay low and
know
firing.
What I mean? Everything that we've put together, the structure that we've now put in place,
Word.
and just sit here and every single week knock these things out, everything that we have to do, because I don't want this 2024 to be like, oh yeah, it's March now, and oh, we'll start now. You know what I mean? All that stuff. So that's where we're at, and don't lose any more weight. I think I'm good now.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, you be all right. You know
what I'm saying?
You want to get them joints going. You know what I mean?
I gotta see. But you can now do a pitch clock, bro.
Yeah, so look in here.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
To pitch whatever you want about us.
What you doing?
Anything
you
that you want. Yep. Coaching, this, that, the third. 20 seconds. Scott, you want to do start the clock? He's a baseball guy, so if he gets a ball, pause, it's over for him. He's fired. Good.
I don't want to pitch anything, bro. I don't.
Boo.
That's whack.
Well, there it is.
I mean, no, for real.
First guest,
all right, so
there we go.
John Rios of this group.
Know what I'm saying?
If you are a brand, if you are a company that's looking to work with us, tap in.
Facts.
Oh, and my podcast, word, that I'm definitely gonna drop.
Oh.
Connected Podcast, season 2 coming out this year, top of the year. Check that out.
What network? What network you on?
What network you on?
Fuck. Oh, this network.
Yo, that's how so you know, man. We out here. This network, the Globe is following. Just real quick, man. A lot of people been hitting me. They be like, yo, I've been seeing this Globe everywhere. First, they go, this is the first thing they said. They saw it on Voldemort's and Melanie's podcast.
Yo, that's
right?
crazy.
Voldemort is wild.
Yo, right? Right? And then they were like, yo, I've been seeing the Globe, but then they seen the Globe other places, and they were like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, yo, it's a takeover, bitch.
It's a takeover. Word.
Right.
It's not local, it's global.
It's
you
global,
heard?
you heard? So, yo, listen, man. Follow us.
Word. Follow John.
Yeah, follow John. John, what's your?
Yeah, IG.
My IG is johnj.rios, RIOS, not Roadhouse.
Nah, man.
You know what I mean?
Nah, Roadhouse.
Make sure you follow the guy that's drilling in the back. I don't know if you can hear that because it's super annoying. Follow him because he's trying to get Sean.
Yeah.
Fots Pod.
The Fots Pod.
This Group
This
Inc.
Group Inc.
And make sure, please,
Go listen
for 2024, listen. We're trying to get more listens, so please listen, like, subscribe, comment on YouTube. And we out.
We out. It's the Fots.
You heard.